So in this video, we'll redesign a slide like this, which you see quite a lot with some text on it and an image, and we'll try to turn it into something visually appealing for your presentation. So what I'll do is I'll first break down the existing slide that we have, the components that we have, and secondly, I'll look at the redesigned version, show you a bit of my thought process and how it works behind the scenes, so you can turn your slides into good looking ones as well. So here we can see the existing slide. A few of the components that we have is we have the title. So shipping containers, I like that they put some word or an emphasis in color on the word. So that's the important word. Secondly, we have the text here on the left. I like that they put it in the quadrants, and we also have some nice alignment. So that is already good. Then we have the image here on the right, which shows the containers. So all of the elements, those three elements, they're not bad, but I think we can do a lot more with it. First of all, I think the image itself, we're losing a bit of white space here at the top, at the bottom, and also at the side. So we have quite a lot of content on the text, but I think we can make it visually interesting, especially with these type of containers, and these visuals are very powerful on a slide. So a couple of good things already, especially that alignment. We see some bold in the title and some smaller weight text for the body. That is always good to create some hierarchy as well. So let's have a look at the redesigned version. And here we can see what I've done with this slide. So I try to make it super impactful if it's on the presentation, if it's on the slide, that it immediately grabs the attention and creates some visual intrigue. And that I've done with the container. So I've added the container in that orange color, since I think it's a brand color if we use that in the text. So I try to use like a nice orange container in the middle, in big on your slides, to really grab the attention. Then instead of using that title, I try to work with that keyword that was highlighted, so the shipping. And I've added it to a second layer, but extremely large, so it creates that contrast between being super large on the screen, but also being pushed back a little bit. That adds for some visual intrigue, I would say. And also on the text itself, I've worked with a little bit of gradient from light to a little bit darker to get some sort of that 3D effect, get some shadow sort of a feeling to the text. Next, we don't have any white on the background. So we used to have a lot of white space, but I just filled it up with a background image. So you see the port being there in the background all the way around in the image. So I didn't use any white space or like white background, but I tried to fill it up with a full image. And then those text boxes, I noticed some spots around the container, so I tried to incorporate those. Now it's not always easy to add some text on top of an image, so for that I've added some gradients below and around the picture. So we can see a gradient layer to add some, reduce the contrast and make it a bit darker so that the text jumps out a bit more. And that gradient, I think, helps with the readability of the content on the slide. Now, of course, this slide is not something which you use every single time, but sometimes you want something to really stand out and make a point and make it memorable. So this is what you could do. You could take some of the elements that you have in the image and work around that and really integrate it in your slide. And I think that's what I tried to do here. So if we compare it back to the previous version, we can see that we made it a bit more interesting. We're stepping away from that white space, we're stepping away from that minimal standard PowerPoint design where we slap on an image and some text, and we try to move towards a more designed presentation and slide, which is interesting and impactful for the audience. So I hope you like this redesign. Definitely let me know in the comments below, and if it was helpful, leave a thumbs up. That helps me a lot. Now, if you really want to master this yourself and turn your presentations into stunning, awesome presentations that have impact, then I have a program available that teaches you exactly that. So we'll look at all the fundamentals that you need to know to really communicate with impact, and that's what it's all about. So if you're interested in that, check the link in the description below. See you in the next video.